Boom, what is going on, guys? Sean Boyle here at Momentum 360 with another weekly YouTube video coming at you. And this one, we are going to be talking about the best virtual tour software for real estate. Let's get started. What's going on, guys? If you haven't yet, stop, go to our YouTube channel, click subscribe, and click that little bell too, so you get notifications whenever we post a new video. You will be the first person to know. Thank you so much for the support, and now the video you've been wanting to watch. So this is a very loaded topic because people get confused all the time of the purpose of what they're using virtual tour softwares for. For instance, there's really two main purposes when checking out and really using a virtual tour software. It's marketing, getting a property sold faster, and for more money. And from an architectural perspective, making sure designs are accurate, getting a floor plan for construction projects, etc. So in this one, I kind of want to depict a lot of myths that people have in the real estate industry and use this new software and a lot of other good ones that can help you elevate your brand if you're doing a marketing perspective or an architectural perspective. So if you're a real estate person and you're using virtual tour softwares to market your space and you're using Matterport, I'll tell you right now, that's a very limited way to go about it. The reason is because Matterport has limited features in comparison to Kula, 3D Vista, and Cloud Pano. Three softwares we'll talk about later on, which are coming from a marketing perspective, will be so much better than what you're doing with Matterport right now, all right? But first, I want to start with an architectural perspective because Matterport does do its best work from an architectural perspective with construction. So let me explain. We were hired, Momentum 360, from one of the greatest architectural companies in Philadelphia, Ewing Cole. And their client, now our client, is University of Pennsylvania. So we were actually able to scan the David Rittenhouse labs in University City. It's about 300,000 square feet. My awesome director, John McKnight, shot it with a Matterport Pro 2, and we're actually able to finish the entire project, all 300,000 square feet, in roughly less than a week, all right? Now, the purpose of doing this wasn't to market anything. It's not going to go anywhere except to Ewing Cole, so they can take those Matterport floor plans and essentially put it to new developments and new things they're trying to incorporate within the university, because for the 300,000 square feet, they're trying to add on an additional 300,000 square feet. So we're almost going to double the entire space. So thus, they want to have a good perspective of, okay, what are we looking at right now? What are the different dimensions, all these different things to get a good perspective so you have accurate floor plans. Because if you don't have accurate floor plans, everything's going to go to crap, and the building might collapse. There's a lot of other catastrophes that could happen, but having accurate measurements is imperative from an architectural perspective, all right? So that's, I would say, the main example, the best example I can say from a use case with Matterport. Obviously, a lot of realtors who are probably watching this right now use Matterport to market your properties, but I'm going to show you why that is very limited and honestly why you shouldn't do it anymore, and you should use these three other softwares to really do a bang-up job if you're trying to market a property. So from a residential perspective, I would say a good majority of our clients are residential realtors in the United States. But what I would recommend you do is check out Cloud Pano and hire us for Cloud Pano. So let me show you exactly what this means. So as you can see right here, Brian Jackson, who's a client of ours, he has a development company where he has a lot of new construction properties, rehab properties in the West Philly area. And as you can see here, Cloud Pano allows you to take virtual staging, putting in new furniture, new finishes, new amenities, all these different things at a very cost-effective budget. Because with Matterport, remember, if you have to do virtual staging, it's so expensive. It's about 25 to 30 cents per square foot. It's unbelievable. Where for us, I mean, it's very inexpensive to get this done. So I would highly recommend that you add this on to your Cloud Pano tours. As you can also see, there's a lot of good branding techniques. There's a lead form at the left side where you can essentially, if you're interested in the property, put that in, and then it goes to Brian, and then he can contact you. And you can also see a logo at the top left that encompasses his company, his contact information, all of these good things that at the end of the day really make the tour sparkle and get more brand awareness at the end of the day. On top of that, we can also put this to music. We can put tags in here that just have a better understanding of all the different bits of information that need to show off in the tour. It's just so much more comprehensive than Matterport, all right? And something that I like to do as well is when you have the lead form, you can also integrate that with Google Analytics. So you can check, okay, 123 Pine Street, how is this trending on, excuse me, on Google Analytics? And it's just so much better. Whereas with Matterport, you can't necessarily do that, all right? So that's one example, guys, of using a residential property like Brian Jackson's to really create more buzz for people who are looking to buy the property, investors, or people who, at the end of the day, are just looking to lease it, all right? This next example, I'll talk about a commercial space for marketing. Think big picture here, guys. So we're talking YSU, Youngstown State University in Youngstown, Ohio. So this is a university that was roughly 2 to 3 million square feet, right? We shot a lot of drone footage and interior, exterior 360 panos and put together, as you can see here, a comprehensive virtual tour that encompasses the entire campus, all 3 million square feet, and everyone can navigate it in about, say, 10 minutes with the gallery of panos at the bottom. So it's very fast, you get the information you need, and you're able to make a decision whether you want to attend the university or not, because you have to be honest with yourself, right? If you're an out-of-towner and you don't necessarily have the time or money to come out to the university physically, it makes it so much better to take a virtual tour, to talk with someone with the virtual tour from the university, ask questions, and just get more information to make a decision. Because at the end of the day, that's all you need to make a decision is information, right? I will also say a very limited thing about Matterport is you can't have drone coverage, because with LiDAR technology, which is what the Pro 2 shoots with, is mass. So as you can imagine, if you're shooting Matterport from an interior perspective, it's capturing all the mass and all the matter around it. Whereas if you're shooting drone, there is no mass because it's just air. So it's hard to pick up. Thus, the Matterport software doesn't work like that. So with Cloud Pano, you essentially take the drone, albeit whatever kind of drone you have, take 360 panos, and you could plug it into Cloud Pano because it's just so much better that way, and it actually enables it to do it. So YSU is one of my favorite projects, not just for the sheer size of it, but all the value that we were able to provide for prospective students, and just to alleviate a lot of the university's time with, instead of doing physical tours, which they still do, it's just more of an efficient process to getting people onboarded, to getting the tuition paid, and ultimately, you know, them having a successful collegiate career with YSU. So it was unbelievable. The next tour software I want to talk about, it's not Cloud Pano, but it's one of my favorites. It's a new development software called Kula. All right, so I mentioned this, I'd say a couple weeks ago in my social media, but as you guys can see here, this is a virtual tour software that we like to use for pre-construction projects that aren't even built yet. So you take the 3D renderings and you put together a 360 perspective of what it's going to look like from an accurate, detailed perspective, okay? So as you can see, it looks very much so like Cloud Pano, like Matterport, but it's completely new and it is not even built yet. So you can take these tags, put it into all these different things, and it's just gonna be so much better of a perspective, because if you're an investor or if you're someone who's just looking to buy this property or lease it, you have all the information you need at your fingertips to say, oh wow, so this is actually what it's gonna look like. Because if you, again, I'd say about 99% of people who are developers, they just take 2D renderings. They don't actually give you a 360 perspective, which you have here. So it's very powerful, it's very inexpensive, and it's something that if you have a large property, as you can see here, that's about 160 units, pool, great grass, great field, just a very big property, you got to do something like this, because if you're going to invest in the success of this property, you need to invest in the marketing of this property first. And last but not least, we're going to talk about one of my favorite virtual tour softwares, 3D Vista. So I'll tell you guys a quick story. When I was a kid, I loved Harry Potter. So when a company called Superfly reached out to me saying they have a Harry Potter exhibit they'd like to showcase in a virtual perspective, my mind was blown. I instantly had nostalgia, went back to when I was a kid, and I just love the Harry Potter series. I mean, J.K. Rowling is an absolute genius for what she's doing. So on top of that, we used 3D Vista, the most comprehensive tour software on the planet, to create a perspective from their Chicago location for one of their great Harry Potter exhibits. So take you through movie 1 to, I think, movie 7, where it's the Sorcerer's Stone all the way to the Deathly Hallows. There's a complete walkthrough of all the little nitty-gritty things that make the Harry Potter series great in that virtual tour. So as you can see right here, there's so many custom things we can make, from a banner to, you have it, lead form, all these different things that are really just created inside of the software. You guys can also see right here from 3D Vista's website is you can make an even amazing, more comprehensive tour that is actually a freaking video game. You can make video games, you can make exams and tests. There's so many different things that you can make inside of 3D Vista. So I would highly recommend, if you're looking for something in terms of the hospitality, and you need to be a little bit more custom in what you're looking for, 3D Vista is the best tour software for that. So guys, finishing up here, I'll be very honest, Matterport is very popular, of course, but it's not the best marketing software at all. Why? Let's recap. The staging is very expensive. If you're looking to virtually stage a Matterport virtual tour, it's roughly going to cost you about 25 to 30 cents per square foot. On top of that, the shooting is limited, and you're not able to get a full perspective from the exterior, from a drone, so you're missing out on a lot of added value just from not being able to shoot that, all right? And the third thing I'll say is the cost is outrageous. For us right now, we pay thousands of dollars every single month for about 500 active spaces. So with that being said, it's pretty crazy to think that as you start to increase in the success and increase the number of models you have, the price also goes up as well. Where in comparison, 3D Vista, Cloud Pano, Kula, they just charge you one flat rate for X amount of spaces. That's why I love Cloud Pano so much, because we pay about $100 a month for unlimited spaces. You can't beat that. So guys, with that being said, I wanted to make this video not to really tear down Matterport per se, but to give you an educated perspective of, okay, what are you going to be doing to market properties in the future? If you liked any of these, comment below what virtual tour software you can see you using in the future. And if you have any questions, hit us up at momentumvirtualtours.com. I would love to help you out, and that's all we do. So with that being said, guys, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.